Hey guys, here's a video showing the aftermath of my little ZMR frame that I crashed into the tree the other day. As you guys can see in the other video, I believe that tree was over 50 feet high, so it hit the top of the tree when I was attempting to do a flip, try showing off, in front of a few guys, and I got a little bit too excited and kind of misjudged how far away and how high I was from the trees, and I flew right into the tree right when I took off. Very embarrassing, but the frame held up very good. You guys can see here. The only thing I broke during that crash was just 3 props and a few bent screws. You can see these are the 5 by 4.5 inch HQ props, the bull nose. They're composite or filled, whatever. It's very stiff, very strong, but they're not very flexible, so they don't really bend or give during a crash. And I just broke off the one side of the props. Actually, I'm very glad that these props broke because I'm just guessing, if the props didn't break, there's just more props to hang onto the motors, and that probably could have got snagged into some of the little smaller tree branches, and my quad could have been stuck in a tree, forever, with the GoPro and all of these expensive setup, like an $800 setup on here, just the electronics and speed controls and the flight controller, battery, video transmitter, and just my GoPro 4 Black. That would have really sucked. That would have been stuck in a tree. So yeah, you guys can see, this is actually my little monster ZMR, or my little Franken mod that I did to it. As you guys can see a little bit more closer detail, you can see I have 2 arms actually stacked together. They're sanded down and then glued with some super glue to adhere them together, and now they're 6mm stick. And on the arms, I actually tried to put a little channel on here to save some weight, but I only saved like 4 grams total from all 4 arms, so it wasn't really worth spending that time with the Dremel and just cutting away the middle of the arms. But yeah, overall the arms are super durable. They're like Superman arms. They're not gonna break unless I don't know how you're gonna break them. But the frames held up really well. Actually, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 decks of the frames all just sandwiched together onto the arms, and that's what made this frame so durable. The downside is it's really heavy, as this is it weighs like a pig, but I have the 2206T motors on here, so they're just a little bit stronger. I mean, they have more power with the 5 by 4.5 inch bullnose props, and I have the full GoPro casing running on a 4-cell battery. Forgot to mention that. So this setup is very, very powerful. It has more than enough power to climb out, do flips, rolls, do some tricks here and there, and just powerful climb outs. I got the CCD cam on here. Yeah. Also during the impact, I actually lost 2 of the nylon lock nuts down here that holds my little mini power distribution board. I bought these, I bought a few of these little distribution boards a long time ago before those, fancy PDB frames came out. So I bought some of those. I use it on my frame, and it works really good, except I'm using a 4-cell battery, so it doesn't regulate that 4-cell into a 12 volt. So you can see at the bottom here, I actually have a little ready-made RC 12 and a 5 volt regulator down here to power my FPV cam. You can see I cut out the middle section right over here for some of these little humps on the regulator. I have a battery meter down here, so when I'm flying it, when the battery gets low, the alarm goes off and it lets me know that my battery is low. Yeah, you can see my video transmitter is actually not really secured onto the frame. It works great like this. I'm pretty happy it's not secured to the frame because, with the video transmitter being on top, it's exposed and it's very vulnerable. So when you crash, usually a lot of guys break the SMA connectors, but they're not crashed. I believe the GoPro casing saved it a little bit, because when it came down like this, it saved the video transmitter, as you can see on top. And also by not being so, mounted, I would say permanently. Oh, camera's getting a little sideways. But instead of having my, video transmitter mounting permanently, is able to slide a little bit and just absorb some of that impact and not break the SMA connector. And these little, SMA connectors here are not the greatest, so they do, slide off during impact, which was actually a very good thing. I'm pretty happy that happened. But you can see this is my ZMR frame. A lot of work went into it, just modifying it, double stacking the arms to make this little thing as durable as possible. And that's the reason why I built it, because I want to crash. Well, if you're not crashing, you're not flying enough. And I wanted to have a great durable frame that I can crash and not worry about, oh, I have to rebuild a whole new frame because I broke it. I also took a lot of ideas from other frames out there. A lot of guys are building battery stoppers onto the frames now. What that does is it prevents the battery from shifting forward and hitting the flight controller on a crash or impact. And I'm pretty glad it did, because, you know, if it would have hit the flight controller, the battery could have got punctured, or I could have damaged my flight controller. And the battery just held up great down here. It's just, you know, pushed against here with some Velcro strap, and it keeps it in. I bent this little post down here. I have a short little 10mm post that helps guide the battery in place when I put it in and, you know, strap it down with the Velcro. That got bent, but besides that, the whole frame is pretty much all in one piece and just 3 broken props. So very happy. I believe one of the bearings has a rough bearing in there. By hand, they all feel nice, but when I spool it up, I do hear a little bit of a rattling noise. So I believe either the top or the lower bearing is probably, you know, got damaged during the impact. But besides that, this frame is a pig, but it flies great. And, you know, according to one of the guys down here, he does a lot of multi-rotors. And he says the heavier the setup is, the better flies in the wind with proper motors. And this setup flies great with the Naze 32 on. Here you can see my wiring is not the best. I just quickly threw it together when I was building it because I wasn't sure that my little frame was going to fly and handle all of this weight. But surprisingly, it flies for a good 4 minutes and it handles the weight just fine. And just to give you guys another quick look at my frame before I end the video, you guys can see that little white JST connector, as you guys can see right there, is 5 volts out for any future accessories. You can see a little 360 shot. And there you go, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that quick follow-up video. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys were wondering what broke on my little quad, if anything broke, or what's the damage, or what did I do to my ZMR. You can see this is what I did to it. I plan on taking all of this back apart and cleaning the wiring, changing some of these straight connectors to 90 degrees, so that way it looks a little bit cleaner, because you can see right now the connector kind of sticks out, and I'm not a big fan of that. And I'll probably end up getting the little PDB board, the Overcraft from Team Legit. They have some of the new Overcraft distribution boards on there that will clean up a lot of the wiring, so I'll probably do that. And I'll probably save a little bit more weight because I can eliminate another layer here, as you guys can see. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.